Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today you can probably see behind me we've got a Ford Cougar. This is a 2018 model year, and customer complaint with this one is the horn's not working. Now it's already been fitted with a new universal horn, but it's still not working. So we're going to get HGS up and we're going to have a look at the diagram for it. Should be a fairly straightforward diagnosis. It's only a horn, got two wires, so it shouldn't be too difficult. It's a potential wiring issue, so we're just going to get HGS loaded up with the right wiring diagram and we'll test it from there. So I really don't expect this to be the most interesting video, as it is just a horn, but the same sort of tests apply to anything, to be honest with you. So you can see there, that's a horn relay KL2. We've got two fuses that supply a relay, F20 which is a 15 amp, we've got F23 which is a 5 amp. That's obviously the relay itself is switched from the BCM, as you can see there. So the power supply comes down, runs through that relay, and then the BCM switches that out, so earths that out, or grounds it out I should say. So fairly simple, and you can see here we have got our actual switch. We've got our squib, our steering column module, and that goes into our BCM. So whatever input the driver's given through the switch goes out the BCM, then the BCM will switch that relay over and should send power out to the horn. So as an easy starting point, what I'm going to do is just test directly at the horn relay. We can rule out a lot of things by doing that. We'll make sure that the input coming from the switch is working, and if there is any sort of power feeds missing at the horn relay side itself. So let's crack on with that. Should be fairly simple, like I said. I don't expect it to be anything too major. So what I'm going to be using to test this circuit is pretty simple. A H7 bulb with our two banana sockets on the end there, the 4mm bananas. Got our two leads there, just general multimeter leads. Our crocodile clip, which we're going to need for our ground, and just a normal sort of probe that we can connect into the relay, or if we really wanted to. I haven't got one now, but could use something similar to that, just obviously not a female. Right, so the first thing I'm going to check is the two power supplies coming into the relay. Now the relay on this particular car is in this socket here, so we've just removed the relay and we've got our lead on a good earth. We're just going to take the other end and just make sure you can see we've got two good power supplies there on both of the pins. So what I'm going to do is just put a power supply on this pin right here, and that will test the actual integrity of the wiring to the horn, and obviously the ground going to the horn. And then there's nothing else left to test apart from the switching side. Right, so we've got our black lead there connected to a positive, and we're just going to test if the output is working to the horn. If we obviously by bypassing the relay, and you can see, well, you could hear there hopefully that the horn is working, so that confirms that the wiring integrity from the horn relay going to the horn itself is alright. So the only thing that we've got left to test on this car is the switching side, and for that we might need to plug in a scan tool. So yeah, let's crack on with that. Right, so we're just connected into the BCM. We're just going to press on the horn switch and we'll just confirm that the horn is working. You can see the BCM sees that the horn is being pressed, so we know that everything is good from the steering wheel side going to the BCM. And just as another test that we can do to prove that the BCM is outputting, so if we press on the horn, you can see the BCM is outputting as well as receiving the information coming from the horn itself. So we can confirm that we have got a wiring fault from the BCM to the actual fuse box. So two cables connected onto the pin 1 and 2, just leading up to the bulb. Now if I go inside, just turn the ignition on. So the ignition's on, so if I press the horn switch, that should light up that bulb. So we've covered kind of everything on this horn issue. Sometimes it can be simple, sometimes it can be the horn, sometimes it can be the relay, or a blown fuse even, but in this case we needed to dig a wee bit further. That's why it's good to have wiring diagrams. So on here, I don't know if you should be able to see, I'll spin it round. So what we've done is we've confirmed that the horn switch is working, the BCM is able to receive the input from the horn, and on live data it's able to show us that the BCM is outputting. So the fact that the BCM is able to tell us that confirms that the BCM is good. So the only thing that we've got left is this lilac and green wire, which is meant to ground that relay out, switching that over and activating the horn. But the day is just a diagnosis. We've got an hour max. I think we've went over it a wee bit. We're here at around about 1:45, so we're just 4 or 5 minutes away from the hour diagnosis. So we'll need to inform the customer, let them know our findings, and we're going to need more time we've diagnosed what the issue is, but we're going to need more time to actually find the break in the circuit. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, so we're on to our next one. I'm not too sure where we left off. The Ford with the horn issue, before anybody says as well, I did load test the wire coming from the body control module going to the engine bay fuse box, and it's kaput. So we do need to go back there at some point next week and try and find that break. But just now we're on this Audi Q5. I'll just show you that right now. So the problem with this is actually a very common fault on the older Q5s anyway. I've had it on mine before, is when you close the tailgate, the top 2 lights don't come on but the bottom ones work. So if I go and turn the tail lights on just now, and what I'll do is I'll turn the indicators on. You can see we've got side lights are on. Don't know if you can see there. It's only the bottom ones that are on. The 2 top ones are not activating. Now the reason I'm videoing this, and it's obviously a fairly simple fault, is because I've not had it on one of these shapes before. It's always been the Q5, is it 8R or something like that? I can't remember the shape, but the shape that I've got anyway, with the actual sensors failing. Now I'm just in the back of the vehicle. If we go into, so if you have got this fault for a start and you've got a scan tool, you can go into the comfort control system and you can get these 3 data PIDs up. So we've got rear lid closing sensor 1, rear lid closing sensor 2, and you can see the status is implausible. It is noticing that it's closed for some reason now, but you'll see that change when I open it up. So if I open up the tailgate, you can see that the rear lid close sensor 1 is still saying it's closed. The rear lid close sensor 2 is now saying open. So the reason the 2 top or the 2 main tail lights are not working is because this rear lid closing sensor 1 is still showing as being closed. Now these are your 2 switches here. You've got one right in there. I'll try and focus that. But we've got a switch in there and a switch in there. Now there's a noticeable difference in sort of tone when you work them, but if I show you live data, I'll maybe try and bring it closer. So hopefully you can see live data. Now what I'm going to do is just operate the sensor 2, and you can see that changes to closed. If we go into sensor 1, nothing changes at all. So we've got no change when we operate this switch. There is a clicking coming from it, you can hear the switch work. However, this side is noticeably different from this side. This side's got a better tone to it. This side's got a weak tone, so we know that we need this switch assembly here, and that'll be a genuine part only. So nothing too major there, just needs a new sensor, a new switch assembly. It comes as one, so I'll need to get that ordered from TPS and get that fitted. I wasn't really sure where to end this video, to be honest with you. The jobs this week have been kind of patchy, so some of the jobs have been in garages, so I couldn't really film them. I had a good one before this, which was a LIN bus fault on a Vauxhall Vivaro. I'll show a picture of where the LIN bus wire was broken on that. It wasn't broken, it was corroded. So the LIN bus was dropping in and out and causing a charging light to come on. Sometimes it would only charge, you know, when it was going over bumps and stuff like that, the light would go out. So it was quite an intermittent fault, but we just traced that to a bad LIN bus wire. So what I might do is I might phone TPS now, see if I can get that part, go and get it, come back, get it fitted. That means the car will be ready for the customer. So let's go and give them a phone. Okay, so here we are, we've got the new part. If anyone's interested, that's the part number there for it, in case anybody's looking for a reference. Obviously the old one, part number is right there, you can give that as a reference. So let's get this fitted. All we've got is 2 torque screws there, and that will just lift off, plug it back in, and that will fix the light issue. Now all you need is a little Torx. I'll find out what size this is. The size is actually rubbed off, so, but yeah, you need a Torx. Remove the first screw, second one. What I'll do is I'll sit these down here. That just lifts up, and that isn't wetness in there, by the way. I tried giving that a wee spray with some electrical cleaner, but it did not work. So what I'll do is just stick this back in. Very simple, very easy job. It says we've covered the earlier models on the channel a wee while ago. So what I'm going to do now is close the tailgate. We'll turn on the lights, make sure everything's working the way it should. Let's go around the other side. So let's turn on all the lights on. You can see lights are back. Number plate lamps are working. Didn't even check if they were working before, but you seen from the last clip that the bottom ones were obviously the only ones that are working. They were staying on. You can see that's perfect. So yeah, that's that fixed. Simple switch issue. Well, you've got 2 switches actually. Where's the old unit? Or the old unit's in there. What I'll do is I'll just make sure that the lights switch. Yeah, you can see that they do. So all the lights are working as they should. So that's what you need if you've got a similar issue. Just a simple switch assembly. So that's us pretty much done on this Audi Q5. If anyone's interested, it's a 2018 year, so fairly newish. And all we've got to do now is just stick the metal sort of trim back on and let the customer pick the car up. So we're not at the customer's address, this is just parked round the corner for his restaurant. So yeah, we'll let him come and pick the car up. But if you've got a similar issue with your Audi Q5, it works previous years and obviously this year as well, then yeah, that's where to look. So I'm going to end the video there, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.